the window. It's okay if you don't have enough lighting, just face the window. Like the window should be in front of you instead of back.
All right.
Yeah. You just maybe turn your chair or your, I don't know, something so that you can have more lighting. And we are starting in 2 minutes. And welcome. Apologies for that. I was having 2 windows open. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this webinar today and joining us for this conversation on networking collaboration for child friendly models that enhance access to justice. You know, I always say when it comes to child justice and when it comes to child justice and when it comes to violence against children, it is important for us to be able to work together, because when a child gets into a system, they're getting into one, but when they're living into a system, they live into 5 different parts, because we don't work in collaboration, we don't work as a unit, we don't work as one. So for this conversation today, we are going to have a candid conversation on issues to do with how can we work together, how can we collaborate with each other, how can we ensure that we are speaking to each other to ensure that children have access to a child-friendly justice system, okay? And before we go on, we have some few housekeeping rules. Kevin, we have some few housekeeping rules. Kevin, move to the next slide. Kevin, next. So for this particular webinar, we do not have, you don't have access to your audio nor your video, and this is for safeguarding purposes. So if you want to chat, there is a function called Q&A at the bottom of your screen. Please utilize that to ask a question to any panelist or just have a conversation. But if you want everybody to see, you can do a chat and say everyone, and we'll be able to see. And then you please introduce yourself. Also, let us know where you're from. And then you don't have to keep your microphone on and off. But if we give you access, please do keep your microphone off. But because if you keep it on, we are going to remove that access. And then raise your hand if you want to speak, and we will allow you to speak. And after every session, we are going to allow a few questions for people to be able to ask a few questions. If you can always type your questions, and this webinar is being recorded and it's being live streamed. So if you're not comfortable for us doing that, kindly, we will share with you the video recording later. But for now, we need to live stream it, and we need to record it. And thank you and welcome. To our first session. So the objectives of this session are basically to be able to speak with each other on issues to do with collaboration and networking. Okay, and I will allow Patrick to speak a bit and why, and just give a short background on the African Council on Juvenile Justice. Patrick.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Yeah, I'm Patrick Washira. I work for CHEFA Kenya. And CHEFA Kenya is the one that is pioneering the African Council for Juvenile Justice. This is after a realization that there is a lot that is being done by many stakeholders, both state and non-state actors. But we are also losing a lot in terms of us not being able to get together, to connect with one another, to talk and share experiences, share good practices, and also benchmark and learn what we can do best. So the African Council on Juvenile Justice is coming to seal that gap. We have reached out to many partners, many agencies out there in Africa. And this is also based by other practices that are being done. There is like the European Council on Juvenile Justice, the Asian Council on Juvenile Justice, Latin America, and also in North America. So we are learning from others what they are doing, and we are also trying to see what is it that we can do at that which will ensure that there is greater coordination and collaboration among stakeholders within the juvenile justice. We have had one webinar that we conducted on 12th of August. This is our second webinar, and there will be some series of other webinars that will be coming. Today's theme being networking and collaboration, and we want to look at that from the perspective of what other models that we are having that enables access to justice. And therefore, I want to welcome everyone in this session. We are honored to have you with us, and I believe that we are going to have a pleasant time. Welcome.
Thank you so much. And you see, I've just been joined by my two friends, and we are here because of my two friends for these conversations. These are the guys who are making us have this conversation. This is Taji, and this is Taji and Tina. So we're going to be speaking about them later on. So so thank you so much. And as we go on, I want to welcome you. I can see we are about 40 of us in this conversation, and before that, I just want those among the participants, before I introduce the speakers, I want the participants to tell me just the first three. Do you belong to a network, and what do you do in your network? The first three people, I am on the standby. I can't see hands up. I'm looking for hands up. Anyone, do you belong to a network? Do you belong to a network? Yes, Ruben, do you belong to a network? Ruben, I've allowed you to speak.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good
Yes,
morning.
I belong to a network.
Which network?
Kenya Alliance of Advancement of Children Rights, that is KAACR.
Park.
And what we do is advocate for the rights of children in Kenya and also around the region.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Ruben. Anybody else belongs to a network? Okay, if you don't, yes, Diana. Yes, Diana. Okay, Ruben, we can hear someone's birthday today. Diana? Diana, yes? I can't hear Diana. Diana is shy. Jemima, do you belong to a network? Yes, Diana?
No, sorry. I raised it by mistake. Sorry.
Okay. Jemima, yes, Jemima? Do you belong to a network? Okay, guys.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello,
Jemima.
good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Jemima.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm a teacher, a beacon teacher. We advocate for children's rights through we detect and report. And that is basically what we do in school, even outside the community.
Yeah, thank you so much. You can hear we have teachers who actually are stepping up. They don't wait for social workers to go to their school to be able to advance for children's rights. So anybody else? Nangendo, which network do you belong to?
Good morning. My name is Josephine Nangendo. I work with Hope for Justice. As Hope for Justice Uganda, we belong to a network called Crane Network. We work to prevent abuse and exploitation of children. We rescue child victims of abuse and exploitation. We do rehabilitate those children and we reunify them back to their families.
Thank you so much, Josephine. So, what I wanted to show you is we belong to networks, and there is a way. If you, Francis, you're going to speak in the next session. So there is a way as we work together, we are able to improve our work. We're able to maximize on our resources, and we're able to reach more children. So, and I'm going to dive in straight into our conversation, and I'm going to introduce my speakers. So I have three high-level people who have experience in working together, people who have experience in the justice system, in the juvenile justice system, and they're going to elaborate more. And unfortunately, some of them are coordinators of networks, and I can see people have not joined from your networks. You need to send them a WhatsApp message, Damon. They need to join. They need to see their coordinator speaking, and also for ESRN. I am going to introduce my speakers, and first in line is, I don't want to misspell that name, so I need to read it properly. Moko, just give me a minute. I need to make sure that I'm spelling it nicely. Moko Moteo. Moko, please, can we see your face? We have Moko Moteo, and then we have Damon Wamara, and then we have Honorable Viola Yator. My speakers, can't you see? I can't see you. So we are going to have this conversation. Thank you, Moko. Thank you, Damon. Honorable Yator, we are waiting for your face. Thank you, Honorable Yator. And welcome to our conversation. And my child is just about to jump into this meeting, so I'm going to switch off my camera. First in line in this conversation is Madam Moko Moteo. Kevin, Moko Moteo is from Lesotho.
You can switch on your camera now. I'm gone.
Oops, sorry about that. Moko Motel is the Deputy Director, Department of Probation, Lesotho. And Moko is currently Deputy Director, Department of Probation, Lesotho. She started her career in 2006 as the trainer of restorative justice to restore justice, restorative justice committee and justice sector frontline. She later worked as a senior rehabilitation officer at Juvenile Training Center at Lesotho, service for 4 years. She's later promoted to the principal rehabilitation officer. So in the same center, Moko is going to be speaking to us about her experience working in this area, especially in ensuring networking in the juvenile justice system. Moko, welcome. Moko, it's your chance.
Thank you very much. I'm sure you're running the slides on that side.
Yes, switch on your camera, please.
Okay. May we go straight to the first slide? The second slide, okay. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for allowing us to present our work as the Kingdom of Lesotho in relation to the access to child-friendly justice on this side. I must acknowledge that in Lesotho, we work as a team. We work as the Justice for Children sector team, and we work together in as a different stakeholder. So the approach that we use, I will highlight some of the approaches that we use, but go into details on the village child justice committees as the driving model that we use, and using the restorative justice processes. So like I said, we have the multi-sectoral approach in justice for children sector. We also practice diversion programs. And then we have the standard operating procedures with clear timelines. We are still working on them now. And then referral mechanisms for cases involving children. Then we are talking about implementation of restorative justice through the use of village child justice committees. This is where we'll be talking more about today with you. And the Village Child Justice Committees are established by Lesotho's Children's Protection and Welfare Act of 2011. And the selection criteria of the committees are members, we have a village chief, the councillor, 4 children, being 2 girls and 2 boys, and 4 adults. Can we continue? We have the attributes, how these members of the committee are being selected. The children who are members of the committee are aged between 12 and 16. Intentionally, the age of 12, because that's the age where a child in conflict with the law can appear before the court of law. I don't want to talk about the children below that, so I will take it at the age of 12 and then up to 16. And then we are saying up to 16, these are the children who can be selected as members in the committees. And then there have to be children who are demonstrating leadership traits and eloquent. And for adults, it must be adults with appreciation of child's rights and child participation, law-abiding citizens, and adults with facilitation and mediation skills. Like I demonstrated before, at the core of implementation of or the operation of the village child justice system, the village child justice committees follow the restorative justice processes. That is, the restorative justice processes, we talked about the principles of implementation, and then we talk about accessibility, equity, efficiency, transparency of the delivery of justice. That is, the in order for children to access this kind of justice that we're talking about, it must be accessible. Everybody must be treated equally, and it has to be efficient, meaning we don't have to take long time working on one case. And then it has to be transparent. Everybody has to have an equal understanding of the processes that will be followed in the village child justice committees. And then the voluntary participation and liberty to opt out at any stage of progress. Meaning if one of the participants in the committee feels like I'm no longer interested to continue, and then they can opt out at any time. So the clientele in this, in the clientele of the village child justice committees, actually the children in conflict with the law who have committed offences that are outlined in our Schedule 1 of CPWA of 2011, not 2021, there's an error. So these are petty offences that are outlined in this schedule, and it means the committees at the community level, they can have forums of village child justice committees, and then solve cases of children, the petty offences that we are talking about, and have a decision at the community level instead of following the normal conventional justice system. And other people who benefit are families and communities in need of mediation where children are involved, and child victims opting for restorative justice options. Can we continue? Okay, the model that we use with the village child justice committees and restorative justice, we use what is called the dual track model. The dual track model, it affords an opportunity for utilization of the conventional criminal justice processes and the restorative justice processes simultaneously. That is to say, if the village child justice committees cannot resolve whatever that they are discussing, the doors are not closed in the conventional justice system, they can take a case further. Even when they reach there, the police officers can advise them to say, listen, after the assessment, we feel that there is still a chance that you can take this case back to the community. And then if it cannot be solved, then the police will take it further to the prosecutors, and the prosecutors can also suggest that the case be taken back home. And then if the village child justice committees cannot be able to come with the resolution, the case can still be brought back to court and then taken to the probation services. And then the probation can also try to mediate and can even ask the concerned parties to go back to the family home and then solve if they feel that if they are after the assessment and interviews and they feel like we still can have an opportunity to work this on our own. However, if all that fails, then the case will proceed to court, and the court still can divert the case back to the community. Other elements